Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande Roth. Tell you, I took Tony out on the front lawn last night before bed, and it was, in the darkness, Cande, it felt like it was 90 degrees.
I know, the heat rises off the grass. It's crazy. What else did you do this weekend?
Stifling. Well, I didn't do anything, but the thought was in my mind, Cande, because had I done this, I would have to quarantine now.
Uh-oh.
The thought was in my mind to go to Delaware because we had some things to pick up, like Leah's bicycle that she wanted. She wants to ride her bike around here. And her laptop that we ordered for the new school year, her first ever, her own laptop.
Now, why did she leave that there?
Was ordered to Delaware because it was delivered. And we were not there when it was delivered.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
Yes, and it was, so there were a bunch of things, some Bed Bath & Beyond orders. Because, my in-laws who live in the no-tax state of Delaware, they can order big-ticket items for us to their address with no tax.
Where we're going. Yes, I do.
See. So, and by the way, if they order it and it's to their address, then it's, completely on the up and up, Cande. That is their home, right? So,
of course.
So so we save a lot of tax.
I'm going to be ordering a few packages to Delaware. Oh, yes, what?
So, had we gone there to pick up said bicycle and laptop and Bed Bath & Beyond orders and all these other things, we would have to be quarantining for 14 days now in our home, Cande.
Well, that's interesting you brought that up because I saw signs when I was driving to this service yesterday that it said, if you are coming from another state, call 511.
Yes.
Something like that, meaning you've got to quarantine.
Correct. Now, if you read online, because I did look at this online, it says that exactly what you said. If you, let's say, live in New York, and let's pick Delaware as an example. If you live in New York and you go to Delaware, you cross the state line, and then you come back, you have to quarantine for 14 days. And I'm curious if
your in-laws came to you, that's the same thing.
Right. Well, right. And that's even worse probably because now my in-laws have a Delaware plate. So a Delaware plate in New York stands out obviously a lot because how often do you see a Delaware plate driving around New York?
Not that often.
Correct. So is it possible that they could be stopped by a police officer saying, where are you from? Where are you coming from? I just don't know how they would enforce. There's so many cars driving in the summer, Cande. How do you enforce cars going across state lines? It's on the honor system, right?
Exactly. You can't really enforce it, I suppose. It's terrible. And there are a lot of people that don't care.
Yes, it's absolutely true. But there's, as I could imagine, on the road, if you happen to be on the Jersey Turnpike or going out of state or driving, you see all types of license plates. You see Virginia and Maryland and Tennessee and the Carolinas and Delaware and Jersey and New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. There's Cande. There's cars and people everywhere. There
is.
It's an impossible task.
What are we gonna have to do now? Close the state borders?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
On a side note, whatever we're doing in New York is pretty good because for the last month, our positive cases have been at about 1% every day.
Do you know that there are more COVID cases in Florida than there are in New York, and Florida is a much smaller state?
Oh, yes, 1,000%. Florida's in bad shape, and New York is the best in the country right now. We are top of the list. We are about 1% of positives every day, which isn't. Think about when we were at our peak, Cande. About 30 to 40% of people were testing positive every day. I mean, crazy. So whatever we're doing, keep wearing the mask and doing what you're doing. But I also would say heed the warning about traveling out of state, because if you read online, you're supposed to be stuck in your house for 14 days after coming back or coming into New York. So
That's right.
It's a big to-do, Candy. My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.